And his new job is with trainer Henry Cecil, the master of Warren Place Stables at Newmarket and champion trainer this year for the 5th time. It means a change of location, a new challenge, and the chance to remain champion jockey for years to come. Cecil has a string of over 150 horses, hand-picked from the finest studs and the biggest sale rings around the world, with owners like Khalid Abdullah, Lord Howard de Walden, Mr. Jim Joel, Sheikh Mohammed, Stavros Niarchos, Charles St. George, and Daniel Wildenstein. I asked Cecil what attracted him to Steve Cauthen.
I think he's a natural rider and a nice person. I think he'd sort of make a very good stable jockey. I find he's easy to get on with, and those are the main things, I think.
If any of your owners don't want Steve, would you stand by him?
Oh, definitely. I mean, he is going to ride the horses. When I say when required, I mean, if we have a horse at 2 meetings, obviously Paul Edry will probably ride the others, but no, he will ride the horses. I mean, if there's a horse he can't get on with and he can't stand and he thinks we should have somebody else, that's another matter, but I mean, he rides the horses.
There'll be no question of any owner asking for another jockey?
No. There may be a question of them asking, but they wouldn't get one.
Henry, you must have rather mixed feelings about the outcome.
I have, really, yes. In fact, in some ways, it's a very sad day for me, really, because I sort of, having got Buckskin there, again beating myself, you know, but they're 2 different horses, 2 different owners, and, you know, it's not charity. And
how did you feel about Buckskin's running?
he ran fantastic, but I mean, the ground was firm and he was changing his legs, and that's what really cost him the race.
Yeah.
But his leg has deteriorated so much, I thought it was very touch and go whether he got round.
Yeah.
And, you know, there was only one Gold Cup, and the other horse, you know, was entitled to take his chance. I knew if Buckskin faltered, the other horse would win, but I wanted it the other way.
The man who's had his judgment vindicated. You always kept saying to us that she wasn't really cracked filly, would win the Classic, but she left it fairly late.
She did, actually, and I said to Sheikh Mohammed that she ran terribly well, but Razalka, her half-sister, I trained, and she didn't come to herself till Ascot time, and Chris, of course, was much better at Ascot than he was at Guineas time. So I said, whatever happens, I mean, she should sort of get better rather than deteriorate.
And through the race, everything went well to begin with, but then the others did accelerate away from, and there was a moment when presumably you thought that they weren't going to get back there.
Well, I didn't think we had got back anyway, actually. I mean,
really?
from where I stood, I thought I'd been beaten, and I was sort of, I thought she'd run a marvellous race, and I thought she'd actually got beaten.
You've had some tremendous fillies through your hands. How does she rate now? She's won her Classic.
Well, you hate comparing, you know, good fillies. I mean, we've had 3 fillies, Fairy Footsteps, her and 1 in a Million. 1 in a Million was a very, very fast filly, didn't really get a mile. You know, she is obviously a tremendous sort of scabious filly and a very, very good filly, but you know, you don't like to say one's better than the other. Yeah?
And she's won her Guineas. How much further is she going to stay?
Well, I think she'll get a 1.25 miles, I think so. But it's marvellous winning a Classic. Now I can afford to pay my jockey club fine.
Henry Cecil, thank you very much for talking to us. Henry Cecil, referring to the £2,000 he was fined yesterday, wasn't, I can tell you, for training bad.
That looked very, very impressive, Henry. Is he that good, or are the others just moderate? What do you think?
Well, the original idea, I think, was to run him Sphonic in the Criterion. But the mile on very soft ground, they thought 7 furlongs probably far enough. And so Tembe went over to France, same owners,
Yeah.
and won that. And I think that race yesterday, I mean, all you could say is, I mean, the winner is a very high-class horse, a definite Group 1 horse with a great future. I would question the others a little bit. I think they're decent horses, but they're all too close together, and I'm not sure they are really sort of the rails of the top, you know.
But at this stage, he takes all the beating in the Guineas?
Well, I mean, I think...
you haven't got anything at Warren Place?
Well, I might have, yeah.
You might have.
Something else has got to come out of the woodwork, I think, to take him on.
Henry and David used to ride racehorses.
Yeah, I did, from the wrong side.
Where's that tie? Come on, you want to find that tie for
Well,
me?
we'll just see if we can find it, Willie.
Find that tie.
It's not in that lot, I don't think. Right? It's
Yeah.
the Irish Derby, isn't it?
Yeah, the Irish Derby tie.
What about that one?
Ah, there you are. That's it. That's the Irish Derby. You won the Irish...
My ties are very precious to me. I think you'd look very smart in...
Yeah, in what? No. These are all too flamboyant for me. Too
What
flamboyant.
about that one? That's a Pucci tie.
Pucci.
Pucci.
And you don't have Hermes or...
Yeah, I got a lot of...
Hermes?
I've got a lot of Hermes.
Gucci?
The amount of money I've wasted on ties is ridiculous. Eh?
No, that's a nice tie as well.
I could
Hermes,
educate a child.
Gucci, Hermes.
They're there.
So you got a tie for Ascot then? You're okay?
I'm all right, I'm not going to buy any more. Or a few of them anyway.
Pink.
Pink waistcoat.
Oh, that's a smart one.
That's a very smart one. Velvet with silk drops on it.
Yeah, black and navy blue.
There are the hearts, yeah, being romantic.
It's not Feb. This is June 13th, not Feb.
I can't. Yeah, not February 14th.
14th.
No, but Natty likes this one. She helped me choose it.
I've seen that one. Yeah, that's you've used that.
Buttons.
Yeah, it's a very smart one.
There's one with.
Ah, that's nice. Horses' heads. That is nice.
But I probably wear a grey one most of the time and just try and not be too sort of
flamboyant.
Much of a clown.
But you wouldn't be flamboyant, will you? How many
shoes I've got?
Shoes.
I don't know. I can tell you.
Look at all these shoes you have. You like brown suede then?
Yep. But all the glitter doesn't go.
Cameron, how do you actually get into a horse's head to find out exactly how you're going to bring out the
Well,
best?
you know, if you watch a horse, you can tell whether he's sort of enjoying things. If you start pushing, you'll find he's sort of jibby, or he's sweating, or he's not relaxed. You know? Or he's trying to get things over too quickly. You know? And he starts hitting himself behind and everything because he's trying to get the canter or the gallop over too quickly because he's weak and it's frightening. You know? And I think that a horse has got to be relaxed, you know? and be able to pick them up and enjoy themselves. You know, a horse that's running too free because it's scared and falls in a heap. You know?
The horses we saw this morning were only cantering, but when you're working horses, how do you like to work them?
Well, this morning, I mean, we just had an easy day. We worked yesterday in the hole, and so we just did a sort of couple of little steady canters or one steady canter. When I work my horses, I usually sort of work them in probably fours, you know? 3 or 4, one behind the other. So if we're working a mile, we'd probably work one behind the other for 5.5 furlongs, you know? And then they'll draw up in a line, and you're going probably 3 parts speed, you know? And in the last furlong and a half, once they're drawn up, then they'll accelerate together and help each other. You know? I like to see them when they actually finish together, all in a line. You know? So I feel I can still tell which is going the best. You know? And don't forget, when you're working, you're probably working horses how much shorter distance you're going to run them. You know? I mean, a horse stays or he doesn't stay. So the main thing is to try and work him in the shorter distance. I feel, this is my sort of theory, that you're working with shorter distance and give him time to go through his gears. So in the last furlong, he's ready motoring. You know? So you've got an Ascot go, a couple of horses, you can work him 1.25 miles. He's either going to stay or he isn't. I mean, you can't make him stay. You know? He's either bred to stay or he isn't. So you like to see him really accelerating that in the last furlong and a half and working over a shorter distance. I mean, anything he's working a long distance can stay, plod around Royal Ascot. I mean, the horse that wins the race is a horse that finds that sort of 5th gear like a Ferrari, not something that goes wrong like a oscillate.
Swiss Maid, then Alert and Wethnan and Inshallah as they race to the top of the hill. Thatching in the lead from Crease 2nd. Swiss Maid is 3rd and Alert 4, Spence Bay 5, Wethnan 6 and 7 is Inshallah, and they're running downhill. And Lester Piggott taking him along at a very good clip too on Thatching from Crease in 2nd. Then comes Swiss Maid, then Spence Bay a little bit towards the outside, and then Alert and Wethnan, and finally Inshallah in the straight and racing towards the 3 furlong marker in the Sussex Stakes. And it's Thatching from Crease and Swiss Maid, and then Spence Bay just in behind them. Wethnan tracking Crease, Alert tracking Thatching, Inshallah the back marker, the 7. They're coming down to the 2 marker now, and it's Thatching being pressed by Crease, the 4-year-old and the 3-year-old. Swiss Maid in behind him, and Spence Bay coming there towards the right of the picture, and Thatching under pressure now, and it's Crease who takes it up. Crease and Joe Mercer taking it up now from Thatching. Then comes Swiss Maid, and then Spence Bay towards the stand side. It's Crease now from Thatching, Swiss Maid and Spence Bay, and Crease lengthening his stride, and he's coming away to win this comfortably. Crease putting up a tremendous performance now as they race up towards the line. Crease is well clear of Swiss Maid in 2nd, and as they come to the line, it's Crease who wins it. Swiss Maid is 2nd, Alert and Spence Bay are next, and then comes Wethnan coming there very smoothly on the right of the picture, and it's Dominion and Wallow and Free State now as they race towards the final furlong. Wallow in the lead from Free State, Earth Spirit losing ground, Ardoon coming there very strongly over on the far side, but it's Wallow from Free State and Ardoon as they race into the final 150 yards. Wallow on the near side from Free State and Ardoon as they race into final 25 yards. It's still Wallow, being pressed by Poacher's Moon on the near side, but it's Wallow the winner from Free State, Poacher's Moon third. And Flying Waiter and Prairie Snoopy going on. Prairie Snoopy, Flying Waiter, Shangamutsu, Arapahoe, Buckskin, and Lamos. And it's Flying Waiter now. Prairie Snoopy nearest to us, then Shangamutsu, Arapahoe over on the far side, Buckskin and Lamos. Flying Waiter from the German challenger, Prairie Snoopy, then Shangamutsu and Arapahoe, Buckskin and Lamos as we rejoin now the grandstand cameras and see to the left at this intersection in the lead, Flying Waiter setting a good pace to his stable companion Shangamutsu, who's tracking him. To the right is Prairie Snoopy, then comes Arapahoe, Buckskin and Lamos, and they're going a real good pace in the 1979 Ascot Gold Cup, with Flying Waiter in the lead from Prairie Snoopy on the far rail on the left, just in behind Flying Waiter, his stable companion Shangamutsu, then Arapahoe, then Buckskin, and finally Buckskin's stable companion Lamos, and they're just coming up to the winning post now on the first circuit, and it's Flying Waiter from Shangamutsu and Prairie Snoopy. Behind them, Arapahoe, Buckskin and Lamos, and this a real stamina test as they begin to swing right-handed, and they'll shortly pass under the mile-and-a-half point. Swinging right-handed now with Flying Waiter still setting a very good pace from Prairie Snoopy and Shangamutsu, matching strides. Buckskin just on the outside of Arapahoe, and very relaxed in rear is Lester Piggott on Lamos. As they run down now towards Swinley Bottom, Flying Waiter still in the lead from Prairie Snoopy and Shangamutsu, Buckskin and Arapahoe, and then Lamos. Got about a mile and a quarter to run now in the Gold Cup, and it's Flying Waiter from Prairie Snoopy and Shangamutsu, Buckskin, Arapahoe and Lamos. They're racing down towards the milepole, and still Flying Waiter and Paul Cook taking him along, and taking him along at still a very fast gallop for 2.5 miles. Prairie Snoopy just on the far side of Shangamutsu, then Buckskin and Arapahoe, and then Lamos close. This is the milepost. They're passing now. Flying Waiter clear of Shangamutsu and Prairie Snoopy, Buckskin, Arapahoe and Lamos. And Joe Mercer asking Buckskin to get a little bit closer to them if he can. And it's Flying Waiter from Shangamutsu. Buckskin now going up on the outside of Prairie Snoopy. In fact, going up to second now. And in fact, going to challenge the leader. And now it's Flying Waiter from Buckskin in second. Then comes Shangamutsu. Lester Piggott is making his move on Lamos. They're past the 6 marker now. Still Flying Waiter from Buckskin in second. Then Lamos and Shangamutsu, Arapahoe and Prairie Snoopy, the challenger from Germany, has dropped right back to last place. They're just passing the 5 furlong marker now in the Gold Cup, and it's Flying Waiter from Buckskin. Arapahoe coming back there alongside Lamos. Shangamutsu holding his place on the inside. Prairie Snoopy almost tailed off now at this blistering gallop, and they're racing towards the home turn in the Gold Cup, and as they do so, it's Buckskin who comes now to take it up from Flying Waiter, being chased by Steve Cauthen on Arapahoe. Then comes Lester Piggott on Lamos. Then Shangamutsu is losing ground. They're turning into the home stretch now, and it's Joe Mercer on Buckskin being pressed by Steve Cauthen on Arapahoe. Then comes Lamos. They're coming down to the 2 furlong pole in the Gold Cup, and it's Buckskin being pressed by his stable companion now, Lamos. And it's Lamos now who takes it up from Buckskin. Lamos on the near side, Buckskin on the far side, the 2 stable companions. Lester Piggott bidding for his 9th Gold Cup on the near side. Joe Mercer on the far side of Buckskin. Looks as though he's accepted it. Lester is going to storm to his 9th victory in the Gold Cup. It's Lamos going away from his stable companion Buckskin as they come up towards the line. Lamos wins the 1979 Ascot Gold Cup. Buckskin is second. Third is Arapahoe. 4 is Shangamutsu. 5 is Flying Waiter. And 6 is Prairie Snoopy.